Hello, everyone. We work with Community Design Studio, or CDS, and this group includes Sophia, Maddie, Nia, Cerrin, Jamie, Bree, and I. So CDS is a nonprofit organization of multidisciplinary designers with a vision of an equitable and sustainable city. They focus on design methodology, which is the study of the principles, practices, and procedures of designing. Researching, empathizing, and learning from local businesses and organizations is the first thing they do, and then based on their findings, they go on to design a prototype and testing it in the local community. Not only do they work with local community partners and businesses, they also work with 9 to 12 graders. Their Leadership by Design summer camp program allows students to explore how design-based solutions can address real-world problems in the community. And so we worked with Elise and Lauren. CDS had two projects they wanted us to focus on. The first one is based on research, and the second one is based on marketing. We split ourselves into two groups based on our preferences and the skills we have. Lauren led the marketing team, and Elise led the research team. And so for the research project, we looked at microcredentials. At the most basic level, microcredentials verify, validate, and test that specific skills and/or competencies have been achieved. They differ from traditional degrees and certificates in that they are generally offered in shorter time spans, such as edX, Coursera, and Badgr. Badgr is a platform CDS is currently looking to implement into their summer camps. And Badgr complements Canvas, which we're pretty all familiar with, and is trusted by over 10,000 organizations spanning 38 countries. And so our task was to look at how microcredentials affect different areas. So how do employers, employees, STEAM programs, college, universities, and K-12 schools utilize badges? Based on our findings, we then created a compilation presentation that we'll soon present to Lauren and Elise with 3 case studies showing the effectiveness of these badges and our recommendations and considerations.
For part of the marketing team, we focused on marketing through their social media platforms and marketing for their summer camp, which are called Leadership by Design, Pop-Up Winston-Salem, and Leadership by Design by Nature. And so the task for the marketing team was to connect with students, parents, and school administrators, host Instagram takeovers, and create a promotional video with the intent to promote the summer camps to a larger audience and introduce each member of the team to the Instagram platform and promote the marketing team through Instagram graphics.
And so, like I said, the first project was research. So this is the microcredentials project. And in this group, we have Sophia, Maddie, Nia, and myself. And so my focus was on the impacts and uses of microcredentialing on the workforce pipeline, from job seekers and graduates to employers. This has a lot to do with resumes, recruiting, and career development and advancement. And so after reviewing several articles and studies, I found that microcredentials offer employees a mechanism to articulate their competency. Employers are often left relying on a college transcript, which identifies how well a person did in college, but kind of does a poor job of identifying whether a person gained competency along the way. So in this perspective, microcredentials are beneficial to both the employer and employee. With that being said, it's also important to look at the demographics of who's able to complete and access these certificates. Generally, it's been found that completers were more likely to be male, white, or Asian, were experts or advanced in the subject matter at hand, and tend to have a higher income. So there's still a lot of work to do if we want microcredentials to serve underrepresented or underserved populations that don't really have that access to institutions that are offering these microcredentials. We also found that a policy for issuing and serving these or securing these microcredentials is necessary. So in our compilation presentation, I mentioned these issues.
My name is Sophia, and my focus in the microcredentialing research group was how microcredentials are used in STEAM programs, which is science, technology, engineering, art, and math, and how microcredentials were used in design thinking, both of which are main focuses of Community Design Studio. One of the findings that I found from the research that I did was that one of the biggest challenges for STEAM microcredentialing and for most microcredentialing in general is that it's difficult to connect credentials from one institution to another. So if someone acquires a microcredential at one institution, sometimes it's not accepted at another, which can be really difficult in connecting people. And that's one of the challenges, especially in STEAM programs, because a lot of microcredentials in STEAM programs aren't actually accepted for credit in many other places. I have found that a lot of STEAM microcredentialing has been used in education, so in schools, especially for students, even though sometimes the certifications that students receive from STEAM microcredentialing pathways aren't able to be transferred over for actual credit. STEAM microcredentialing is really great for educational purposes because it allows students to have access and exposure to different areas and fields that they wouldn't normally have in a traditional classroom.
Hey everyone, my name is Mari, and I was responsible for researching the use of microcredentials in colleges and universities. And in my research, I found that SUNY, which stands for State University of New York, is one of the largest university systems in the United States and offers education opportunities such as skill building workshops, college prep courses, and certification programs. SUNY also helps colleges/universities that want to prepare microcredential courses by providing guided principles that faculty can use. Also, some microcredential courses can count for credit. For example, the Introduction for Baking course offered by Mohawk Valley College prepares students for the food service industry. So is the SUNY system effective? Well, SUNY is helpful towards preparing various different microcredentials to meet the needs for students interested in other fields. Also, it's been found that institutions with corporate engagement valued alternative credentialing more than institutions that did not.
My name is Nia, and my focus was on micro-credentialing in K-12 schools. So in my research, I found that a lot of educators and teachers are using micro-credentials for professional development and gaining skills that they can use in the classroom to improve their teaching. Research also does show that educators who complete micro-credentialing can earn small salary increases, but the main benefit on the educator side and the teaching side is that professional development skills that they gain and those new classroom skills that they can implement in teaching their students. And then on the other side of that, micro-credentialing can also benefit students in the classroom because they're seen as a pathway for combating disparities in the classroom by creating highly skilled teachers for all students. Oftentimes we see a lot of disparities between lower income public schools and then more private schools or richer schools. And so by creating a way for teachers to become qualified and have skills in the classroom, that can be one way to kind of combat those disparities. And then I included a quote that I found really powerful and interesting from one of the reports that I read, and it says that micro-credentialings are a gift to educators, offering autonomy, choice, variety, and challenge while building rich, powerful student learning experiences. So I feel like micro-credentials has a lot of potential, but of course, like others previously mentioned in the research they found, there needs to be a lot of regulations to make sure that they're consistent across platforms and there aren't disparities within implementing micro-credentials.
And so the second project was the marketing project. In this group, we have Cerrin, Jamie, and Brie.
Hello, my name is Cerrin Crawford. So a part of the marketing team, one of our goals was to find ways to connect with different students who are interested in the STEAM programs and STEAM careers and get those students informed about the Leadership by Design camps. So one of my tasks was to update the Winston-Salem Forsyth County High School contact sheet that's there in-house at Community Studio Designs. And update that so it's an accurate depiction and also include science teachers, business teachers, art teachers, those individuals can connect those students to these camps, and then also create posters for the camps that would be appealing to the students and to inform them about what's happening this summer. So as we see here on the left, there's the pop-up Winston-Salem poster, and then on the right is the Design with Nature. And here you can see with the Design by Nature, they have the Badgr included where they can earn a badge to put on the resume.
Hi everyone, my name is Jamie. So my role on the marketing team is more of the social media aspect. So I facilitated some Instagram takeovers. I also watched a bunch of their previous Instagram lives, and I also created a promotional video for their summer camps. So basically on those Instagram takeovers, we just kind of gave an insight into our daily lives and how we were working with the community design studio. And it was a really fun way to just try and get more people involved and aware of what community design studio is, and as well as like with the promotional video that was really promoting their summer camps. So our intent with doing that was to just reach a larger audience and get a lot of people to sign up for their summer camps. It was talking about both the Design with Nature and the pop-up Winston-Salem, but it was a really fun time, and I'm glad that I got to do it.
And so Brie wasn't able to make it, but she did record her slide, so I'll play it right now.
Yeah, so basically my responsibility in the marketing team is to like focus more so on the visual aspect. And my task right now is to like mostly introduce members of the CDS team onto the Instagram and to like, you know, start the feed and like make it more accessible for people to see what we're doing. Right now, I've actually like looked into Canva and I've like played around with it and see like exactly what to do and like started like doing people's introductions. But right now, because I haven't like gotten like information from each and every person, and I also need horizontal photos from a lot of people, I haven't been able to really like post as much as I would love to. But you know, it's definitely a process, and it's going very well, and that's pretty much like what I am mostly doing, as well as, you know, going on the page and seeing what I can show to people in order to make them, you know, view it more.
And so that was our presentation with CDS. Thank you for listening.